Hey guys, and welcome into the garage. Today we're going to be doing a comparison between Scalefinishes paint and splash paints. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while now. Before we get started, I don't think there's going to be a big difference, in my opinion, between the two paints. They are going to be very identical in how they look, how they spray, that type of thing. The difference is going to be in the price, bottle size, and those sort of things. Let's get started and do some comparing between the two paints. Scalefinishes is an acrylic enamel paint and uses a DuPont paint system. Splash Paints is a solvent-based polyester paint. They use pigments and processes that are unique to Splash, which offers a finer pigment size. Both are airbrush ready. Just shake the bottle really good, pour, and spray. It's really that easy. Both need to be sprayed at a minimum of 20 psi with at least a 0.3 tip. Both are what is going to be referred to in the paint world as a two-stage paint, aka a base coat paint system, meaning they need a clear coat to finish the paint. Scalefinishes does offer an enamel line of paints that do not need that clear coat. Both do have colors that are called a tri-stage or a three-stage paint that uses a mid-coat, which is a pearl coat. Both offer custom color mixing. Scalefinishes does not charge extra for this if it's a color that can be mixed in-house. If it's a color that cannot be, there is going to be an extra charge for that as it goes to an outside paint mixer, but the customer will have to agree to that price and agree to that outside mixing first. Splash charges extra for all custom color mixing, and that is going to be $14.99. Bottle size. Scalefinishes comes in 2-ounce bottles. Splash comes in 1-ounce bottles. Price. Scalefinishes paint is $12.99 for 2-ounce bottles. Splash is $7.99 for the 1-ounce bottle. Splash's 3-stage paint is $14.99. I'm not sure about the price for Scalefinishes as I cannot find them on the website at this moment. So really, the pricing difference between the two balances out with the different size bottles. All right, so let's do some actual paint comparing. Let's head to the paint booth. Here at the paint booth, we're going to start with Scalefinishes. I see we're going to be doing the typical standard spoon test. This was primered with Mr. Surfacer 1500. And we'll be using the Pro Convoy PS275 for this test with the 0.3 needle set. Now we're going to spray the splash paint. I'm going to use the same spoon test with the Mr. Hobby Mr. Surfacer 1500. Back at the bench to take a look at the results. And like I said in the opening of the video, I didn't think there was going to be a big difference. There really isn't. They both sprayed pretty much identical. The finish is pretty much identical. On the left we have Scalefinishes. Right is Splash. Take a look at the Scalefinishes spoon first. And now the Splash. And side by side. And really cannot see a big difference between the two, other than the metallic flake on the Scalefinishes side. They're basically identical in the finish. And that's not saying anything negative about Scalefinishes. Splash is using a finer pigment, metallic, and all that stuff, so it's going to look a little bit different. Not to say that Scalefinishes metallics aren't out of scale. They're perfectly fine. It's just Splash is just a little bit finer. So that's really where the big difference is going to come down to between the two paints. Prep and clear coat are going to be the variables. As long as you nail both of those, you're going to get a great finish. As long as you follow the directions. So really, from where I'm sitting, I cannot say one is better than the other. They're both great paints, and you're going to get a great finish from either one. Of course, I'm going to say go to Scalefinishes first, support him because Jameson has been a supporter of the channel for a long time now, so we got to show him some love. So with that, I hope this was informative. I hope we learned something. I mean, really, they're both identical paints. I hope this wasn't a huge waste of time. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And head over to scalefinishes.com and pick yourself up some paint.